David Smith here with another Flipped Classroom math video. Today's topic, index notation. Let's get started. Indexes, also called powers or exponents, are how we express and write down what we call repeated multiplication. For example, 6 times 6 times 6 times 6. That's kind of long, and they're all sixes. So is there a shortcut for that? Of course there is. We can write 6 to the 4th power. And what that means is 6 times itself 4 times. A little bit of vocabulary. That is called the base, and this is called the index. And remember, index or power or exponent. So that raised index can be called a power or an exponent. All those words are used interchangeably. Let's do an example. 2 to the 5th. We can say 2 to the 5th power, 2 to the 5, or 2 with the index of 5. What are we going to get? 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And just for grins, what's that going to be? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8, times 2 again is 16, times 2 one more time, 32. I'm going to give you one to try. 3 to the 4. Pause the video, write that down as an expanded multiplication, and then give me your solution. Okay, let's see how you did. 3 to the 4, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, and what is that? 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27, times 3 one more time is 81. So when you do homework problems, pay attention to the instructions. They might say, evaluate this, meaning give us that number. They might ask you just to write it out as expanded. Okay? Either way is a fair question. Let's make it a little bit more complicated. 2 to the 3rd times 5 to the 2nd times 7. So how would we evaluate this kind of an expression? Well, 2 to the 3rd is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8. So that's 8 times 5 to the 2 is just 5 times 5, 25, times 7. And what does that give us? 1,400. Okay? Let me give you one to try. 2 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd. Now we also just say second, we say squared. So that's an exception, but you can say 3 to the 2nd. It's just fine. Everybody will understand. But typically we just say 3 squared. So 2 to the 4th times 3 squared times 9 to the 3rd. And we have another saying for 9 to the 3rd. We might say 9 cubed. Okay? So pause the video, see what you get. Okay, let's see how you did. 2 to the 4 is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. 3 squared is 19. And 9 cubed is a big one. 729. This ends up being a pretty big number. I get 104,976. Let's try this one. 6 squared. Now I'm going to use my dot for times. It's just a little simpler for the notation. 4 to the 3rd times 7. Pause the video, give that a shot. Okay, let's see how you did. I brought my calculator along for this one. 6 squared is 36. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 is 8. Times 4 one more time is 32. Times 7. Now I can't do that one in my head, so let's try that. 36 times 32 times 7. I get 8,064. A word about calculators. My calculator right here has a key called the y to the x key. This allows me to put in the base and put in the exponent, and the calculator will return my answer. Like I could put 6 squared in and it would tell me 36. Different calculators work differently. So I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of how to do this on mine, because it's quite possible your calculator works a little differently. You will want to learn how to use your calculator to do these types of problems. There is a shortcut. You could just do 4 times 4 times 4, and that gives you your solution. But I think it's better to use technology like in the best way possible, so this is awesome, also quicker as well. That was my introduction to index notation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like down below or subscribe.